Well, happy Valentine's Day. You're destroying the planet. That's the loving lesson that Vox is reporting today. According to the article, nearly all the roses gifted on V-Day will be imported from Latin America, and 1/5 of all revenue from flowers happens on this very special day. Vox notes 30 cargo planes a day fly roses to Miami from below the equator. Just think of all those greenhouse gases spewing from those nasty airplanes. Vox goes on to say that just the flights alone burn 114 million liters of fuel, belching around 360,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Then the evil flowers are loaded onto refrigerator trucks, spewing their noxious fumes from sea to shining sea. What to do? Feel guilty. Feel very, very guilty. Embrace the guilt. Yes, let it flow through you. Vox goes on to recommend that there is no better way to say I love you than with a low carbon footprint. So show your love today by gifting your significant other a new recycling bin on Valentines. Yeah, that'll work. A school in Florida has hired a couple of combat vets armed with scary black rifles to protect their students from the active shooter threat. Principal Bill Jones of the Manatee School for the Arts in Palmetto had this to say during a WTSP TV interview.
If someone walks in shooting, somebody walks in with a weapon threatening kids, we're not going to fool around. We're not going to pause. We're not going to ask them questions. We're going to shoot them. And I'm sorry if that offends people. And at that point, all bets are off. Take them down. Eliminate the threat. Eliminate the threat. You know, if they die in the process, that's unfortunate, but better them than one of our students, quite frankly.
The guards are equipped with Glock sidearms and Kel-Tec long rifles, making MAS the only school in the country to have independently hired guards with what the report is calling military-grade weapons during the school day. If you've been following the reported attack on Jussie Smollett in Chicago, things are getting weirder by the day. Smollett claims that while he was walking home at 2 a.m. on January 29th, he was beaten, doused with bleach, and had a noose placed around his neck. Chicago police have an ongoing investigation, but have been unable to find any leads to his attackers or any video evidence of the attack. Smollett initially said he went to the hospital and had 2 broken ribs, but then later recanted those statements. It also took 2 weeks for the actor to turn over his phone records to the cops, and when he did, the Chicago police said the records he supplied were redacted and insufficient. The actor gave his first interview following the incident on ABC.
You know, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth. Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
To complicate things further, a Chicago police superintendent reportedly said that Smollett will be held accountable if he made false report. One Chicago police spokesman said that the phone records Smollett handed over, quote, do not meet the burden for a criminal investigation as they were limited and heavily redacted. Here's a case of the fox guarding the hen house. The exec at Apple who was in charge of enforcing insider trading has been accused of, you guessed it, insider trading. The SEC is bringing suit against Gene Daniel Levoff, Apple's senior director of corporate law until late last year. The SEC alleges that between 2011 and 12, Levoff reportedly made $245,000 in profit, and in 2015-16 avoided losses totaling $382,000. Nice work if you can get it. Apple fired Levoff last year following an internal investigation. If you can't make sense of those online terms of service agreement, you're not the only one. A couple of law professors analyzed the sign-in terms and conditions of hundreds of U.S. websites, including Google and Facebook, and found that more than 99% of them were unreadable. The study found that terms and conditions of online consumer contracts requires, on average, more than 14 years of education. So if you were held back a couple of years in high school, you should be okay. We have reached peak social media derp. Now there's a Tinder-like app for cows called Toddler. The app helps farmers find hookups for their cows, yes, with other bovine cows. The app lets farmers find breeding matches by viewing pictures of bovine hotties, and of course it comes complete with a mooing sound as they swipe. Once there's a match, Toddler displays a big red udder. Cute or disturbing? You decide.
NEWS.